Now, I do want to keep talking about nudity. It's probably one of my favorite topics in the world. But before we do, a lot of people like to talk about like some business stuff, some business sides of things.
Sure.
So like pre-COVID.
Yeah, so let's go rewind. Remember back when we used to wear like our naked faces and be like complete,
we used to
like face sluts,
more than just eyes.
like our mouths were
out in public. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it's like erotic when you see somebody's face now. It's sexy. Like they just pull their like mask down a little bit, and I'm there.
So you guys owned like a physical brick and mortar, like you owned a business. Can we talk a little bit about that before COVID,
Sure.
the progression, what happened, and all that good stuff?
I started a gym business in 2011, brick and mortar personal training business from client number one, built it up. And then, we got together in 2014. She started competing, and then she kind of started training people on the side, and then she kind of took off as a trainer. But my goal with business was always to build a business and sell it. That was always what I wanted to do. I was more of a businessman before I was the trainer or the meathead. Like I was a businessman first. So when COVID hit, I already had this mentality. We were selling the gym, and we had discussed selling the gym actually about a year and a half before COVID was even a thing. So I was in the midst of getting it ready to sell, paying off all the debt, making it look really good on paper. And then COVID hit. So, most people would probably say, well, I'm not selling a business during this lockdown, right? Well, not me. I'm a little obsessive. So once I get into something, I get into it. So we had 5 conversations going with 5 different buyers through lockdown, and we ended up selling in lockdown July.
That's crazy. And I read that article. I don't remember who put it out, but I do remember seeing the article about you selling the gym during COVID, and that's pretty insane to do. Sell a business that's shut down. And where was this business located? Was this in Vegas? Or
No, in Illinois, about an hour west of
Chicago. That's what I thought. Okay.
Rockford, yeah. But I think what was one of our saving graces was the business still profited through lockdown. We shifted everybody from one-on-one physical to virtual training. So the money still came through. Numbers were down a little, but as a whole, even the banks, when we were going through the sale, were like, you made this during lockdown? Like, how?
Yeah.
So, when you explain that, I think the new owners were like, well, there's a system in place. Like, if this ever happens again, at least these clients are prepared.
Yeah. And I think that's like happens all the time right now with COVID is like the conversations that you have with people that they have businesses that could thrive virtually. And I think so many people are quick to just admit defeat. And it's like they just collapse on the inside and become the victim. And you see so many people that are entrepreneurs that can't seem to get out of the hole and like kind of get going. It's like you've got to immediately switch gears, come up with a new mindset, and figure out how to make your business like thrive. Like you've got to, it's thrive or like die, and that's the bottom line.
I love that you said the word entrepreneur because people throw that word around way too loosely. An entrepreneur is someone who understands risk and risks their own money, their own energy, their own everything for something they believe is common good. Right? That's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur is not signing up for a pyramid scheme and selling protein powders out of your car. So, and those people know who I'm talking to. Like a true entrepreneur, they got 500 grand on the line. That if this doesn't work, they're bankrupt, like truly bankrupt. So, and you're right. And entrepreneurs, they also innovate. Like COVID happened to all of us. So many people just sat and cried, woe is me, and, help me out. Here's a GoFundMe. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. What can I do in this situation to better my business? Do something different, be that guy. And a lot of people made a lot of money during lockdown, a lot of money. Right. So I think you're dead on. So many people just want to throw their hands up and say, why me? But, you got to be smart.
Well, and it's easy to use it as an excuse, right? Because it's, we're all suffering. So let's cry about it. But I think honestly, and thank God for this, but last year was the best year of our lives. Like personally, financially, emotionally, it was the best year of our lives. And I hate that it affected so many people negatively all over the world and people died, and that's awful. But the people that could have taken, the world by the balls and just chose not to because it's easier to cry about it, I don't feel bad for those people.
No.
I don't. Like you had just as much of an opportunity as we did. Beyonce has 24 hours in a day too. So if you can't make it work, that's on you. So
we worked through lockdown. For us, we loved lockdown, and did what we wanted. We watched movies all night, but during the day, we hustled. Whatever we were working on, whatever platform it was, selling the business. I mean, we got shit done.
Yeah.
You know?
Now you guys both work from home, right? You don't have any like you don't go to any work or any job, right? Like you're both work at home people.
Work at home, all virtual.
Do you, now you guys live in, I can say where you live, right? Well, I think I already said it earlier, but you live in Vegas, right? We can say that. Okay. I didn't want to say that. All of a sudden you're like, don't say that. Well, we're live.
It's a large city. A lot of people live there.
Now, do you have family that live in the area or anything, or is it just you guys? Like, did you guys just relocate?
My family's in California. Her parents are still outside Chicago.
Okay.
My parents will probably end up getting a home in Vegas here within reasonable in the future. But we ended up in Vegas really for strategy. I'd say we wanted to be closer to LA without living in LA. I love LA. Their housing prices are absurd, and I'm not paying 13% income tax. Nevada is very appealing with their nice no income tax and just the housing prices. And for her, photographers, just everyone goes to Vegas. I mean, Vegas is going to be the new mecca for a lot of industries, and it already is becoming that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, you may not see or deal with like similar stuff that we do, but like we always find that working from home, people immediately equate that to you don't work. Like when we work from home, people assume that we just sit at home and drink all day, which sometimes we do, but we work like our asses off.
All we drink.
Like we get up at like 7 a.m. and it's like you're working throughout the whole day. And then there's days where it's like, even tonight alone, like after we're off this live video, this video is going to get edited. I'm going to be up till like 2, 3 in the morning, get stuff done. I'll be back up at 7 and like working again. And it's like, people just think when you work from home, you don't work. And I think they have no...
I think we work more.
I think it's almost like a negative because you work more because you don't know when to turn it off. Like at least when you go to the office and you have a 9 to 5, you leave at 5, that's it. Like you leave your laptop in there. But for me, it's like if I wake up at, 8 a.m. and I'm on my phone, I'm eating breakfast, I'm working, I'm driving to the gym, I'm still working. Like I come back, I'm still like, it doesn't ever stop. So I feel like you work more.
And we still have a routine. I mean, we don't physically necessarily have to go to an office, but we're up the same time every day. I still do fasted cardio X amount of days a week. I go, I hit my messages at 10 a.m. till noon or whatever it is. Like we still have a system.
You need a system. Yeah.
It's not just fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I like live and die by my calendar in my phone. I live and die by it. If you're not in my calendar, I don't know that whatever we have planned is existing right now. Like
right.
Very, very scheduled.
Yeah. And you say the same thing all the time that we work harder.
Yeah.
Now than we've worked when we had real jobs.
If you're not, I hate to use the word hustling, but if you're not like physically working, physically hustling, you're not making money. So you have to be going at all times. Like you don't get Saturday and Sunday off. Like it's not a luxury. You just keep going.
Well, and I think people have this misconception, like if you're a YouTuber, right? And we started our channel in January. You're filming content now that will make you money in 15 months, hopefully. So, like that's for the common worker to understand that you're doing stuff now for free that could make you money down the road. That's a hard concept. And you have to stay really, really on it to do those things and consistent, as you guys know. So, I think the conventional logic of work is kind of done.
Yeah. And we can always talk too, if you ever have any questions about like write-offs. I mean, once you, and like people don't get this, but like when you start the life of a YouTuber and you start making an income on YouTube, like your life is a write-off. If you don't have any other jobs that also might be the case for, is when you're driving your cars for your YouTube videos and you're going to locations to shoot photography stuff and also film it for YouTube, and everything that you're doing for YouTube to make that money is all a write-off. And it's like people don't understand that. And once you can grasp that in itself is like, we could do a video on that for an hour.
We should have been saving a lot more money like years ago, but now like I think we have a good grasp of it.
Yeah.
Well, and I would love to do another video if that's something you want to do, because actually my degree is in economics. I'm the numbers brain. Like everything she does, whatever she needs to do publicly, but I do all her books. I do all the investments. I run all that stuff. So I'm very much into that stuff. And I've helped a lot of people. Some have listened, some haven't. And, now they can't afford to pay for things. But I totally agree with you. And you can do it very, very smart if you are smart.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm the nerd too. Like I'm going to call us nerds, Dan. I'm the accounting and finance. I do our books. Like I do all of that.
Okay. Nerds are fine.
Discussing this the other day. I mean, we talk about this all the time, but I think now that the world is, influencers are so big. I think influencers are like the new athlete or the new actor. Like
they're the ones making $1 million a month. Some of them.
Yes.
And they don't even know what an LLC means.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like some of these people are so clueless. They're like, they'll go buy a G-Wagon, but they don't realize that G-Wagon is a write-off, especially because they are using it for their YouTube channel or their business. And some of these people are just so clueless.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we finally just hired a tax attorney that works for us, and we have his team of like CPAs. We have accountants that work for us, and it's just kind of like, to me, like financial education needs to be something that's added to high school. Like I think there's a couple classes in high school that can be knocked right out, and I think people need to start talking about this, especially with the amount of people that are now on YouTube at like 15 years old getting paychecks. I mean, there's kids on YouTube with hundreds of thousands of followers. I know they're kind of demonetizing a little bit of that kid stuff, but I mean, there's kids making a lot of money. There's young people making a lot of money. 20-year-olds making a lot of money. And the same thing when it comes to LLCs and S corporations is, you can make $100,000 in 1 year. And when you look at paying taxes, you could pay that two different ways with an LLC and an S corp. And if you don't really know what you're doing, you could be way like over your head.
Yeah, we did the S corp thing this year, and it saved us a ton of money. I am like actually excited to file my taxes.
Oh, we've always been S corps. We both have our businesses, but like even like having 401ks, like people are like, what? 401, like I could say you could literally just cut it right off, and the government allows you to do that because you're investing that money into the market. Like they recognize it as stimulating the economy. Like they're perfectly cool with you doing those things. But people are just like they can't even fathom it.
Like they made these laws and these rules, so we do it. Like people always say, the rich benefit from this, but we all get to do it. Like you don't have to be rich to do these write-offs. You don't have to be rich to take money off your taxes. Like you can donate into your 401ks, and then you can pay yourself a salary, put that into it. You could company match it. Like there's so many different ways that you could write things off, and you could donate or you could put money into 401ks and just take it right off without being taxed.
And the government is perfectly okay with it. They encourage it.
Yeah. People just don't do it enough.
No, I know. And we have all, some of our friends and, they make all this money. And I'm just like, that's what you have in your checking account? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, and they also act like they made $100,000, so they have $100,000. It's like, no, you don't have $100,000. You need to start like at least 30 off the top.
And wait till April 15th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a whole other podcast we could get moving.
Yeah.